Hello, survivors, and happy Sunday. Welcome to Qigong with Kevin, sponsored by Aortic Hope TV. Big shout out to Josh and Karen and everybody out at Aortic Hope for all they do for us survivors of aortic dissection and aneurysm. It's just a great resource to have. So, survivors, today we're going to talk about a couple of Qigong flows, one in particular that's called punching with strong focused eyes. And this flow is part of the Badwan Jin 8 silk brocades flow that I have learned from my Yochi Qigong instructor, Marissa. But it's so therapeutic. I find that this flow can really help with a number of problems, health challenges that I face as an aortic dissection survivor. Those include memory loss, of course, i.e., pump head, and anger and frustration, which is natural, being a survivor of multiple major surgeries. Also, a little bit of vision loss sometime, once in a while. I do have that connective tissue challenge that separates my retina from time to time. I've even had to have it laser welded back 2 or 3 times. So this flow, punching with strong focused eyes, is going to help us connect our liver with our eyes. In traditional Chinese medicine, the eyes are considered to be the flower of the liver, very connected. First thing I do in the morning when I open my eyes is I say, "Thank you, liver, for all you do for my body." Sometimes I think the liver has a thankless job, but it's always good to express our thanks to all of our organs, especially our liver. So we're going to explore that connection between the liver and the eyes, and also between the memory and this flow. So find a comfortable spot, survivors. Today's seated therapeutic Qigong. Make sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground with toes pointing forward. I like to keep my knees shoulder width apart. And we're going to warm up a little bit. We're going to do a hybrid of a warm-up exercise we've been working with for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that's spinal cord breathing. But instead of using fists today, survivors, we're going to do prayer hands. So we'll start by matching palm to palm in prayer hand mudra and drop our prayer hands level with our elbows. So we form a line parallel to the ground. Put a smile on our face, relax, open all of our joints in our body, sink our breath down into our belly. Remember belly breathing. We always belly breathe when we are working with Qigong flows. Maximize oxygen flow into our body. Our belly expands on the inhale and contracts back towards the spine on the exhale. So we're going to move with intent and not force anything. We won't push past 70% tension. 70% is a good number to stick by so we don't pull a muscle or stretch anything too far that we shouldn't stretch. We will take a deep belly breath, let our belly expand, then open up our palms into goalpost pose. On the exhale, come back, press our palms together, tuck our chin in, open up, inhale, exhale. This is a very meditative flow, survivors, that I love to do sitting in my chair when I want to contemplate a challenge, a health challenge, an emotional challenge, a test coming up in school, very meditative flow. It's a great flow to be thankful also, to fill our hearts with gratitude as we pull our prayer hands down in front of our heart. Inhale, open up. Exhale, engage. Tuck the chin in. You can go as fast as you like, as you feel the chi flowing through your body, or as slow as you need to for contemplation. Inhale, goal post pose. Stretch your arms back. Exhale, palms together. This is a very powerful flow. Your chi flows from your right arm to your left arm and back to your right arm, making a big circle through your body. Flows through the Lao Gong points, pericardium 8, that we've talked about before, which is you can find by dropping your middle finger down where your middle finger touches your palm. Pericardium 8 is an important gate point in traditional Chinese medicine. So we're connecting both sides of the body. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute with this flow that we're going to explore today. Inhale out. I am grateful for. Exhale all the blessings I have. Inhale. I am grateful for all the fresh air my lungs take in. Exhale. I am grateful for all the blood purification my liver does. Inhale. I am grateful for my heart pumping blood through my damaged aorta that's healing. Exhale. Inhale. I am grateful for my kidneys and the filtering function they do for my body fluids. Exhale. Inhale. I am grateful for my spleen and stomach and how they transform food into energy to supply power to all my organs. Exhale. I am grateful for all the people in my life. Exhale. I am grateful that I have electricity and water in my house and I can take hot showers. Inhale. I am grateful that I have plenty of food, albeit humble, in my refrigerator. Inhale. I am grateful for the fact that the sun shines and brings warmth despite all of this cold weather we're having. Inhale. Survivors, think of what you're grateful for as we warm up with prayer hands. This is a great flow, just like spinal cord breathing. As we bring our arms forward, we're stretching our posterior deltoid and the middle deltoid. And as we open back up, we're stretching the anterior deltoid that attaches from the clavicle to the humerus. Keeping those deltoid muscles, as we've talked over the past 3 or 4 weeks, is very important to prevent frozen shoulder syndrome. Frozen shoulder syndrome is so easy for us survivors when we sit in our recliner recuperating. And I spent many months hooked up to an IV at the house in that recliner. So I know what can happen to the shoulders. So important to keep our muscles stretched so they don't freeze up. Once they've frozen up, so much more difficult to open them back up. Remove that stagnation and let the chi flow. Be grateful. Okay, survivors. Now let's move into the punching with strong, focused eyes flow. So this may seem like more of a a very yang-filled, power heat-filled flow, but in fact, this flow opens up quite a few of the yin channels and really does tonify all of our yin organs. Very good flow for moderating anger. We call it liver yang rising, when the liver energy is just overwhelming and rises up to our heart and causes us frustration and a tense, tight chest and heart palpitations. This flow can really help moderate and balance out that liver yang rising and disperse excess liver qi throughout the body. It also helps a whole lot with memory, and we'll talk about that in just a minute as to why. But to do the flow, we're going to knees about shoulder width apart, sit comfortably in our chair, relax and open our joints, sync our breath, and decide we're going to move with intent, not force. Don't push anything too hard past 70%, as we always talk about. I like to take my thumb and put it at the base of my fourth finger, the ring finger, then close my hands into fists. Bring these fists to our side. Now, this is a very important pose right here. We just hold this pose for a minute and talk about why. Because this pose right here, where our wrist is touching our side, activates some very important acupuncture points in our body. The pisiform bone, our little wrist bone right here that you can feel, it's very close to an acupuncture point we refer to as small intestine 6. And small intestine channel runs up the arm, around the back shoulder. And so if you have back pain, upper back pain, or upper arm pain, then activating this point can help relieve that pain. Small intestine 6 is also a very important point for improving vision as that channel runs up through close to our eyes. So small intestine 6, the pisiform wrist bone, is right by our side. And when we press into our side, we're pressing into another acupuncture point called liver 13. We refer to as liver 13. And to find liver 13, we are going to turn to bony. Liver 13, thank you, bony, is found right at the tip of the 11th rib. If you can see here, pull bony over a little bit closer. The 11th rib is, you count down from the first rib under the clavicle, the 10th rib, the 11th rib. It's not the 12th rib. The 12th rib is all the way in the back. It's the furthest in the back, the floating rib. But the 11th rib is right about here, right where the pisiform bone, thank you, bony, is going to be placed when we make our fist. Now, the liver 13 point is so important because it really does help spread that liver yang rising qi, that aggressive liver qi, helps moderate and spread it out. It's also a very important point, again, for strengthening the eyes and vision. As we mentioned, the eyes in traditional Chinese medicine are the flower of the liver and are intimately connected with the liver. So when we press in to our 11th rib with our pisiform bone, we're activating small intestine 6 and liver 13. Both of those contribute to reducing any kind of pain we have in our arms and upper shoulder, strengthening our vision, and tonifying our liver. Also, liver 13 is very good for just general energy increase, as it's been known to tonify spleen qi. And spleen qi is very important. A lack of spleen qi or a deficient spleen can really drag us down. And by tonifying spleen and spleen qi, we ensure that we have plenty of energy for the day. So those are the fundamentals about this flow. We're going to work with this flow now. And the way we do it is take a deep belly breath, let our belly expand. On the exhale, when our belly contracts, our right arm moves out, the wrist turns down, and we focus with our eyes. There's that eye connection on our wrist. Inhale, rotate the wrist, pull it back by the side to liver 13. Exhale, engage, punch out slowly with the left arm, focusing on your left wrist. Inhale, rotate your wrist up, pull back to liver 13 on your left side. Repeat for the right side. Exhale, engage. Inhale, come back in. Left side. Exhale, engage. You can hold your arm and wrist out as long as you like. Inhale, rotate that wrist and pull it back by your side. Exhale, engage. Inhale. Now let's talk about memory. Exhale, engage while we continue the flow. Inhale. So the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. That's a well-known fact. The left side of the brain is also responsible for assimilating and storing memory. Inhale. The left side activates my right punch, and I'm going to say, left side of the brain, store that memory correctly. Inhale. Now, the right side of the brain controls the left side of my body. The right side of my brain is also responsible for retrieving memory. So I say, as I punch with my left hand, brain, right side of the brain, be sure to pull those memories out as I need it. Memory is such a challenge for us dissection survivors that have had to struggle with pump head. If you don't know what pump head is, look it up on Wikipedia. It's where the heart-lung bypass machine inadvertently allows bubbles, embolistic little bubbles, to enter the bloodstream and result in blockages in the brain. Best way to manage pump head is to work with memory. So I like, while doing punching with focused eyes, to tell my brain, okay, right side, I'm punching with my left hand. Therefore, next time I need to remember a word, it's going to be right there for ready retrieval. Inhale. And then when I punch with my right arm, I'm going to say, left side of the brain, empirical brain side. Whenever you store data away, or memory tidbits or memory facts away, you're going to put them in the right place, and don't make them too hard to retrieve. Work well with that right side of the brain. Seriously, survivors, This is a great exercise, allowing us to be cognitive of our memory functions, allowing us to be present in the moment when we store the facts or names, allows us to be cognizant when we want to retrieve that information. Very good flow. Sometimes we tend to get stuck in a homolateral pattern where we just work with one side of our body. A lot of times we are unaware that this is happening, but if we can think, cross flow, left side of the brain, right side of the body, then we are well on our way to managing as best as we can our memory functions. Now let's add a little bit of clearing, purging to this flow. In Qigong, we have the 6 healing sounds. And the healing sound for the liver is shh, just like you're shushing a baby to sleep, or shushing a baby if it's too loud, or your friend if they're talking too much. Shh. So what we're going to do on the exhale is do the liver sound, purge out stagnant liver qi. Shh. On the inhale, bring in fresh air, fresh qi to our liver. Shh. Bring in that fresh qi on the inhale as we pull our wrists back. This is also good to do, survivors with poor memory habits. So as I push out with my right hand, I'm going to expel and purge any bad memory storing habits. Inhale, deep breath, bring in good memory storing habits when I punch out with my left fist, out goes bad or poor memory retrieval habits. Bring in fresh, good memory retrieval habits. Being aware of our body-brain interaction is so important, and Qigong survivors has really been a great benefit for me. It's not only helped me get my blood flowing through my body, my qi flowing, it's helped me prevent any kind of frozen joints. It's allowed me to be present in the moment, to move that spleen qi, to get my body going. Survivors do this every day for 2 or 3 weeks. You will feel the improvement in the qi flow and energy in your upper body and in your brain and in your organs. You can do it as fast as you want, kind of like a dance, coordinating that breath. You can do it as slow as you want for a meditative type practice. So, from the Bhagwan Jing, punching with strong focused eyes. A great Qigong flow, survivors, that is perfect for disabled, the senior citizens like myself, actually for anybody that wants to move qi through their body. I encourage you to practice this flow this week, every day, if you can. And as always, survivors, shout out to Aortic Hope for all they do, and may you be blessed and filled with qi.